My name's Lorin Rose. I'm running for town supervisor. Here's one of my campaign t-shirts. You see these around town. The reason I'm running is because it's kind of embarrassing watching the town board meetings, and I just don't feel they represented me, and I don't feel they represent anybody I know. So I thought I'd give it a try, and I've been getting an overwhelming amount of support from everybody I talk to. I think our town supervisor needs to be more than sound bites and arrogance, and we've had enough of that lately. So I'm just one of those guys that worked hard, pays his taxes, kept his mouth shut until I felt it was time to stand up. So here we go. Well, the first thing I want to do is stop the financial bleeding. Um, there's simple things we can do. We can put a waste oil heater in the highway garage, and that'll save us, I'm guessing, between $20,000 and $30,000 a year on the electric heat that they're basically the electric heat that they're using in there now. And I've just in sounding people out around town, there's enough donations of oil that would just keep that place as warm as you want it without the cost. There's other things, without being on the inside and looking around, just looking from the outside, I can see all kinds of things that can be tightened up. And to make people think that I'm serious, or to convince them that I'm serious, the first resolution I pass will be to cut the town supervisor's pay by 10%. Not that I expect anybody else in town to take less money for what they do, but it puts me on the footing to get them to look everywhere to try to save some money. The referendum coming up for the town hall to sell it, I think we ought to spend another couple $100,000 on drawings before we do that. Maybe we could design a moon roof for it or something. It doesn't seem like we have a direction. We need to go in one direction. We got the Land Conservancy, which is supposed to take care of that piece of property, and we got everybody else that wants to run trails through it and build more stuff in there, and it's got to be one side or the other. It can't go like this, because it's going to end up eventually in a lawsuit, and we're going to have to pay for all of it, and I'm not in favor of that. So I think it was done by referendum, so whether you agree with it or not, that's how a democracy works. So you got to get over it, and you got to deal with it if you don't agree with it, and if you agree with it, well, congratulations, you won. So, but you can't fight a guerrilla war against it, which seems to me like that's what's been going on, and it's just nuts. I was born here 55 years ago. Grew up here, run 2 businesses in town, so I know what it takes to get by here. Had my house paid off when I was 37, retired when I was 55. So I got some idea of how the money works. Not that I've generated all that much money, but I'm good at not wasting it. My mother was a Democrat, my father was a Republican. Therefore, I'm a non-enrolled because I didn't want to piss either one of them off. And there's just so much acrimony going on, and I think I can stop that. I think I can bring an end to that, because I don't do it. I don't do it well, and it's an impediment. We need to get all the horses hooked up facing the same direction, basically. There's a lot of people in this town that are willing to help if they were asked nicely, and there's a lot of good ideas, but people seem to hate each other so much. If the idea comes from the other side, they won't even think about it. And I'm different than that. I've seen good ideas come from some very strange places in my life, and I've learned to keep an open mind on everything. One thing I would do is, because it's pretty amazing to me that we take the Como property that's in the middle of all this, and we have a pissing contest over it, when there's so many other places where you can take advantage of this absolute glory that is around us. And I'd be willing to show people some other trails. I think that's the way you take the pressure off the Como, is by encouraging people to go and walk other places. I'm pretty big on personal responsibility. I've always taken responsibility myself, and I like to see other people take responsibility for themselves. Like the dog walking issue. It's not really about dogs on leashes. It's about people not picking up after their dogs. that's a personal responsibility issue. It's things like that. I think if you give people a chance to do the right thing, and if you just ask them, if you don't try to force them, if you just ask them, most people are willing to do the right thing. So I think it just can all be easier than it is. I think we've packed ourselves into some kind of strange corner and we don't have to be here. So that's why I'm running. Thank you for your time.
Okay.